Yeah, I was about 15 when people started shushing me. And I thought, oh, okay. You know, eventually people were telling me, oh, you have a good voice. It went from shush to you have a good voice. And one day I bumped into some friends and they were starting a band. And I said, do you need a singer? And they said, are you one? And I was like, yeah. Oh, yes. And they said, okay, come to this rehearsal. And next thing you know, I was a singer. You know, if you want to make a living out of singing, then you need to start learning how to write songs.
And how did you learn it?
I worked with producers, and that means that they write, you know, the music part, and I would write melodies over that and then write lyrics. And I guess in the beginning it was harder. I was slower. I was more self-conscious. And just the longer I did it, faster I became. Yeah, it was almost as soon as I decided to stop trying to be a cool songwriter and started just writing songs that were of a broad nature and writing for other artists, then suddenly I became more successful than ever. And that was when I had to decide how to put out an album where I didn't show my face.
You do not like to show your face, and I think people don't understand why, so explain that first.
Well, it's so that I can go to Target and buy a hose if I want to, or if I'm in need of a restroom and I can't find one, I could go by the side of the road. And nobody would be following me with a camera trying to get the shot.
Yeah, oh, that's true. I didn't even think about the paparazzi thing, but I thought it would be a fun.
And I guess that really, it was the only thing missing from show business, so was mystery. So, and it blew up much bigger than any of us could have ever believed it would. Chandelier became a much bigger song than any of us expected it to.
Her music video for Chandelier has already been seen over 7 million times.
Platinum selling hit Chandelier.
I think I ordered that blonde bulb on Amazon or something, and then of me standing in front of a black wall, and then I erased my face, and that was the cover of 1,000 Forms of Fear. That's exact, and I was the black wall opposite my laundry. I remember I was staring at a washing machine at the time. And then just used my handwriting, and I've always been a bit of a DIYer.
And you mentioned before that you were in a time of PTSD and that it was something you had to deal with. What was the event that triggered it?
There's actually a lot of events. The ones that I'm willing to talk about were I witnessed a murder, and I witnessed the beating of a man, and I tried to help, and I called 911, and I tried to help save his life, and he later died. And the other one was I lived upstairs from somebody who was mentally ill and with schizophrenia, and he was not taking his medication, and he wanted to be my friend. And I got scared, and I called the police, and they came, they left, and I saw him. I was looking out the window because I was scared, because I just felt bad because they had said to him that he needed to have better boundaries and not come knocking up on my door, and that, you know, and I was horrified because I just didn't want him to even know that it was me that had called, because I was worried about him. I'd actually called a bunch of mental health places first, and they said, you have to call 911, you have to call an ambulance and the police. And anyway, he walked out the door and walked in front of a train. So that was pretty horrible. And and then there's just some developmental trauma, just that, you know, I don't really want to go into. I think, you know, because I have gone through periods where I've been very mentally ill, and I think in fact I know if they hadn't been around, I would have committed suicide. I did make the movie that I intended to make, and I did have love behind it, and every day came to work, we'd talk about how this was for the community, the autism community, and for those caregivers of those in the autism community. We thought we were doing the right thing, and we thought we were making something really special and really loving and giving a voice to a small sub-community that doesn't have a voice. And since then, apparently, I've used all the wrong language, and, you know, but I was told by some factions of the community that this is the language they prefer, and other people are saying, we'd stop saying that and say this. And now, you know, I am actually kind of a little bit afraid to talk. Gratefully, people are, you know, holding me responsible and not her. And I much prefer that. She isn't responsible. I am responsible. She did such an incredible job, and she did it with such sensitivity and with such good intention. My favorite day of the last 5 years was when we got the results back from the Child Mind Institute of New York, and they had given her 100% rating on her representation of someone nonverbal on the spectrum. And we were all so proud. We felt so proud that she'd done it such justice, and that this here was a community and an audience of people in the community and their caregivers who gave her 100% and who loved the movie. So we really thought it was going to be well received. What I liked, the best response I ever got I wrote only 14 minutes, was someone on Twitter wrote, "You can tell."
That's awesome.
I'm sensitive in some ways and not sensitive in others. Like, you know, it's really interesting. I'm more, I think I care more about like social repercussions or being ostracized or being misunderstood or like a deep need to be liked or loved. Whereas I don't care so much whether my music is liked or loved, but I want my intentions behind things to be truly understood. And when that doesn't happen, I'm very sensitive. I feel very sensitive. I guess my integrity is called into question, or my intentions are called into question. That's when I'm sensitive.
What do you love most about performing?
I do not love performing. I get really scared, and I just cried in the dressing room because I'm really croaky, and I was like, I'm not beneath the high note, and I want everyone to like me, and I'm just like, it's scary to perform. I do it because I want you to make you happy.
I think I was changed because I really took my role as Maddie's mother, bonus mother, really, I do take that role very seriously. I think the first change happened with my, you know, subconscious adopting of her. I realized my heart could never love anyone more. And I think that she was the beginning of my realization that I had a lot of love to still give. I didn't think I really wanted children anymore. And I realized that I have enough love and I have enough resources to actually be of assistance to the less likely to be adopted. And that's why I decided to take my boys. And both of them have told me, you know, nobody ever adopts 18-year-olds. The panda money, when like you're so rich you could afford to buy a panda, which is so disgusting. What's great about it for me is it just allows me to now make other people's dreams come true. It allows me to be generous. It allows me to give a lot to charity. It allows me to give a lot to people in need. I don't spend money on fancy shoes or fancy handbags.
Have you guys ever watched Alone? The first episode, there was a guy who was unbelievable and I loved him a lot. And then he talked one day
he was having a very emotional month. I sent him a Christmas present for each year that he'd been alive.
Oh, how sweet of you. It's unbelievable.
And that's the kind of thing that makes me feel really, really good. I get really excited, call everybody in my team, and I'm like, let's do this, it's going to be so fun. I never told him it was me. I only allow myself to have Twitter because otherwise I would never do anything. I would just be on Instagram forever. I'd be in the hospital from looking down. So I can't do Instagram. It's too addictive, as it's designed to be. And Twitter, I jump in and out on every now and again. Yeah, because I'm a bit of a granny. Do I think I'm a genius? I know that I am not a genius. I am 1 point below genius. There was a 6-month period where I went Scientologist, and they make you do an IQ test. And at the time, I was 1 point below genius. Maybe I'm a genius now. Who knows?